Let's talk about something we've all felt. That moment when the silence gets loud, when someone who left you hanging suddenly circles back. Now, why does that happen? Why does he test you after no contact? See, life's a lot like driving down an old dirt road. You hit bumps, you swerve, and sometimes you got to pull over to figure out where you're headed. That's what no contact is. It's a pause, a pullover. But here's the thing. When you're not reaching out, when you're focused on your own path, guess who starts looking in the rearview mirror? Now, when he comes back with a test, it's not just about him trying to see where you stand. It's about you, where you are, who you are, and what you've learned during that silence. So, before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. Are you ready to own your worth? Are you ready to stand tall when that test comes? Let's break it down together, and maybe, just maybe, we'll come out the other side a little wiser, a little stronger, and a whole lot clearer. When faced with silence, it's natural to interpret it as rejection. Our minds tend to fill the void with doubts, insecurities, and imagined scenarios, all of which lead us to believe we are not enough. But the truth is, silence often has nothing to do with rejection and everything to do with opportunity, an opportunity for growth. It is in the quiet moments, when there are no distractions or external reassurances, that we are forced to confront ourselves. This is where real transformation begins. Silence gives you the space to reflect on who you are, what you value, and what you truly need. It allows you to process emotions, gain clarity, and reset your perspective. It's a pause, not a punishment, a moment for you to look inward and reconnect with your own strength. Instead of viewing silence as a void, see it as fertile ground where you can plant the seeds of self-discovery and resilience. When someone withdraws or creates distance, it's easy to chase after their approval or answers. But in doing so, you give away your power. By embracing the silence, you reclaim it. You show yourself that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's presence or absence. Growth happens when you resist the urge to fill the silence and instead use it as a mirror to see yourself clearly. In this space, you can learn to prioritize your own needs, build confidence, and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. The silence isn't there to hurt you, it's there to teach you. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound growth occurs when you stop seeking validation from others and start listening to the voice within. When you focus on self-worth instead of validation, you shift the power dynamic in your life. Seeking validation from others often stems from a place of insecurity or a need to feel seen, accepted, or valued. It's a natural human desire, but relying on external approval can create a cycle of dependency that erodes your confidence over time. When someone's attention or recognition becomes the foundation of your self-esteem, you lose touch with your own intrinsic value. True self-worth, however, is rooted in knowing who you are and what you bring to the table, independent of anyone else's opinions or actions. It's about understanding that your value isn't defined by how someone treats you, how often they reach out, or whether they acknowledge your worth. It comes from within, from a deep awareness of your strengths, your character, and your unique essence. Focusing on self-worth means setting boundaries that protect your energy and self-respect. It means saying no to situations, people, or behaviors that don't align with your values or that diminish your sense of self. It's about showing up for yourself, prioritizing your growth, and honoring the person you're becoming. When you shift your focus from seeking validation to building self-worth, you regain control over your life. You stop waiting for someone else to define your happiness or success. Instead, you take ownership of your journey and begin to thrive in ways that don't rely on external applause. The more you cultivate self-worth, the less you'll need external validation, because you'll already know you're enough, exactly as you are. This inner confidence radiates outward, attracting the right people and opportunities into your life while repelling anything that doesn't align with your true value. When someone tests you after a period of no contact, it's easy to assume it's all about them, their curiosity, their emotions, or their desire to re-enter your life. But the truth is, this moment is less about them and more about you. It's an opportunity to see how much you've grown, how strong you've become, and how well you understand your own boundaries and worth. The test isn't just about gauging your response to them. It's a reflection of the work you've done on yourself during the silence. Have you used the time to heal, to rebuild, and to prioritize your needs? Or are you still looking for answers, approval, or closure from them? Their test reveals more about your progress than their intentions. It's a mirror showing you where you stand in your journey of self-discovery and self-respect. In these moments, your actions speak louder than words. How you respond to the test, whether with grace, strength, or clarity, shows not just them, but also yourself, how far you've come. It's a chance to assert your growth and to prove, first and foremost, to yourself that you are no longer the person who depended on their validation or attention. When they test you, it's not a game to win or lose. It's a checkpoint in your personal evolution. It's a chance to demonstrate through your words and actions that you've moved beyond the patterns of the past and are now focused on a future where your self-worth isn't up for negotiation. The test is theirs to give, but it's your opportunity to rise above it and show that your growth is real, steady, and unshakable. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to protect your energy, assert your worth, and maintain control over your life. Boundaries aren't about keeping others out. They're about ensuring that what comes into your life aligns with your values, needs, and priorities. They're a form of self-respect, a way of saying, this is how I deserve to be treated, and I won't accept anything less. When someone tests you after no contact, boundaries become even more important. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to fall into old patterns, overlook red flags, or allow someone to disrupt the progress you've made. Boundaries are your safeguard, ensuring that your growth and self-respect remain intact no matter what someone else's intentions may be. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're shutting someone out or being harsh. It means you're clear about what is and isn't acceptable in your life. It means you're willing to communicate your needs honestly and stand firm when those needs aren't met. Boundaries help you create a space where mutual respect and healthy interactions can thrive, while also protecting you from behavior that doesn't align with your standards. Having boundaries also sends a powerful message. You value yourself enough to say no when necessary. It shows that you won't compromise your peace, your self-esteem, or your progress just to keep someone in your life. And when you enforce those boundaries, you teach others how to treat you, making it clear that access to your time, energy, and presence is a privilege, not a given. Ultimately, boundaries are a reflection of your inner strength. They empower you to maintain your self-worth, even in the face of challenges, tests, or attempts to undermine your growth. Confidence is your greatest response when someone tests you after no contact. It's not about arrogance or proving a point. It's about standing firmly in the knowledge of who you are and what you deserve. Confidence isn't just a quality, it's a language. And it communicates everything without needing to say much. When you respond with confidence, you show that you're unshaken by their return or their attempts to gauge where you stand. It's not about playing games or acting indifferent. It's about being grounded in your self-worth and clear in your boundaries. Confidence says, I know my value, and I don't need external validation to confirm it. Confidence also shifts the power dynamic. When someone tests you, they're often looking to see how much control they still have, how much access they're allowed, or how much of your attention they can command. But a confident response, be it calm, composed, or even minimal, sends a clear message. You're no longer in a position where their actions define your emotional state. This kind of confidence doesn't come from ego. It comes from self-assurance. It's built through the work you've done on yourself during the silence, through the lessons you've learned and the strength you've gained. It allows you to approach the situation from a place of calm clarity rather than reactive emotion. Most importantly, confidence speaks for itself. You don't need to over-explain, defend, or justify yourself. Your actions, your energy, and the way you carry yourself do all the talking. Confidence isn't loud, it's steady, and it leaves no room for doubt. It shows that no matter the test, you're in control of your narrative and your next move. No contact isn't about creating confusion, it's about building clarity. When communication stops, emotions can feel raw and uncertainty may take over, but this period of silence is actually an opportunity to step back and gain perspective. Without the noise of constant interaction, you're able to see things for what they truly are, not what you hoped or imagined them to be. Clarity begins when you stop focusing on their actions, intentions, or responses, and instead turn inward. No contact gives you the space to reflect on what you want, what you need, and whether the relationship or situation aligns with your values. It's a time to reconnect with yourself, free from the distractions of external influence. This pause allows you to break free from unhealthy patterns or emotional loops. When you're constantly in communication, it's easy to get caught up in cycles of hope, disappointment, or overthinking. No contact interrupts those cycles, giving you the distance needed to see the bigger picture. You can assess whether the relationship truly serves you or if you've been holding on to something out of habit, fear, or unresolved feelings. During this time, clarity also comes from observing actions rather than words. Silence has a way of revealing what's real. It shows who puts in the effort, who respects boundaries, and who truly values your presence. And more importantly, it shows you how much peace and strength you can find within yourself. No contact isn't about playing a game or creating doubt. It's about giving yourself the gift of time and space to process, heal, and align with your truth. It's not a tactic. It's a tool for self-discovery, helping you move forward with a clearer sense of who you are and what you deserve. Recognizing patterns instead of promises is one of the most empowering shifts you can make when someone tests you after no contact. Words are easy to say, and promises can be made in moments of emotion, but it's the patterns, the consistent behaviors over time that reveal someone's true character and intention. When someone comes back into your life, it's tempting to focus on their promises, the apologies, the explanations, and the assurances that things will be different this time. But promises, no matter how sincere they sound, mean little without actions to back them up. Patterns, on the other hand, don't lie. They're the evidence of how someone truly operates, how they handle challenges, and how much they value you and the relationship. Recognizing patterns requires you to step back and observe without bias. What do their past actions say about their reliability, honesty, and commitment? Have they followed through on their words before, or have they made empty promises that never materialized? Have their behaviors consistently aligned with their claims, or have they shown a pattern of inconsistency? The shift is important because it protects you from falling into cycles of hope and disappointment. It allows you to base your decisions on reality, not on potential or wishful thinking. By focusing on patterns, you take the emotion out of the equation and make choices that honor your worth and well-being. People can change, but meaningful change is reflected in new, consistent patterns, not just in promises of change. When you prioritize recognizing patterns, you empower yourself to see situations clearly and avoid being swayed by words that don't align with actions. This clarity helps you protect your peace and make decisions that support your growth and happiness. This clarity helps you protect your peace and make decisions that support your growth and happiness. Actions reveal intentions, not words. While words can be persuasive, comforting, or even manipulative, actions are the clearest indicator of someone's true motives and priorities. When someone tests you after no contact, it's not the words that matter most, it's what they do. It's easy to get swept up in apologies, explanations, or declarations of change. Words often carry the promise of what could be, appealing to your emotions and hopes, but actions are rooted in reality. They demonstrate effort, commitment, and respect, or the lack thereof. They show whether someone's intentions align with their claims or whether they're simply saying what they think you want to hear. Pay attention to consistency. Do their actions over time reflect genuine care and accountability, or are they sporadic, only surfacing when it's convenient for them? Are they showing up for you in meaningful ways, or are they making empty gestures that don't match their promises? True intentions are evident in patterns of behavior. How someone chooses to act when no one is watching and when there's nothing to gain. Actions also reveal priorities. If someone values you and respects your boundaries, it will show in how they approach you, how they handle your time, and how they respond to your needs. Words might create temporary reassurance, but actions build trust. By focusing on actions, you protect yourself from being misled by false promises or fleeting emotions. It allows you to see situations and people for who they truly are, not who they claim to be. Ultimately, actions provide the clarity needed to make informed decisions about who deserves your energy and attention. Don't settle for less than you deserve. When someone tests you after no contact, it can be tempting to lower your standards for the sake of familiarity, comfort, or the hope of rekindling something meaningful. But settling, whether for half-hearted effort, inconsistent behavior, or unmet needs, comes at the cost of your self-worth and peace of mind. You deserve a connection that values you fully, not one that requires you to chase after basic respect or validation. Settling happens when you allow fear of loss, loneliness, or uncertainty to overshadow your standards. It's when you accept breadcrumbs instead of demanding the whole loaf. But deep down, you know what you truly need to feel valued, respected, and loved. And compromising on that only leads to regret and dissatisfaction. When someone reappears, their actions should reflect effort and consistency that align with your expectations, not a pattern of convenience or excuses. It's not selfish to want more. It's a reflection of the value you place on yourself. Settling doesn't just diminish your worth. It also sets a precedent for how others will treat you in the future. You deserve relationships and interactions that are built on mutual respect, genuine care, and emotional reciprocity. Anything less is a disservice to the growth and self-awareness you've worked hard to achieve. Settling may feel like the easier path in the moment, but it delays the fulfillment and peace that comes with holding out for what you truly deserve. Every time you choose not to settle, you reaffirm your worth and send a clear message, not just to others, but to yourself, that you're worthy of the love, effort, and respect that you freely give. Don't compromise on that truth, no matter how strong the pull of the past might be. Use every test as an opportunity to grow. When someone tests you after no contact, it can feel like a challenge to your progress or a disruption to the peace you've built. But these moments aren't just obstacles. They're valuable opportunities to reflect, evolve, and reaffirm your boundaries and self-worth. Growth happens when you step back and assess your response. How do you handle the situation? Do you react impulsively, or do you respond with thoughtfulness and clarity? These moments are mirrors showing you how much you've learned about yourself, your needs, and what you're willing to accept. Every test is a chance to practice the boundaries you've set, to communicate your standards, and to reinforce the inner strength you've cultivated. It's easy to feel tempted to slip back into old patterns, especially if the person knows how to pull on your emotions. But each interaction gives you the opportunity to choose differently, to act in alignment with the person you're becoming rather than the person you used to be. The power to create is perceived in the belief that you are what you see. That's all testing can create success. Communication is growth also means using these tests to refine your understanding of what you truly want in relationships. Do their actions align with your values? Does their behavior reflect genuine effort, or is it just a temporary attempt to regain access to your life? By observing and reflecting, you gain clarity about what serves your well-being and what doesn't. These tests aren't about proving yourself to someone else. They're about proving to yourself how far you've come. With each challenge, you build resilience, confidence, and self-respect. You learn to trust yourself more deeply and rely less on external validation. And this way, every test becomes a stepping stone toward becoming the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. So here's the bottom line. Every challenge, every test, and every moment of silence is an opportunity to grow, to reflect, and to reclaim your power. When someone tests you after no contact, it's not about them. It's about how you choose to respond. Will you let their actions dictate your worth, or will you rise above, rooted in the self-respect and clarity you've cultivated? The silence taught you to embrace your own strength. The space gave you clarity. The test is simply a reminder of how far you've come. And now it's your turn to decide, are you going to settle for less, chase validation, or fall back into old patterns? Or will you stand tall, confident in your boundaries, and choose what truly aligns with your worth? You have the power to set the tone. You have the power to decide who gets access to your life. And most importantly, you have the power to walk forward, knowing that you deserve nothing less than genuine effort, respect, and love. So take the lessons, take the growth, and keep moving forward. Because your future self is waiting for you to claim the life you truly deserve.